Hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Make Dinner, your audio library of amazing dinner recipes you can always get on the table. I'm your host, Susie Weinrich. You guys, I'm so excited for this recipe today. So if you're looking at this recipe or if you're listening to this, it's probably winter time or it's getting cold and you need some kind of cozy comfort food to eat for dinner. And today we are making a 5-hour Dutch oven beef stew. It's going to perfume your house like a pot of beef potpourri, and you are going to absolutely love it. This is, okay, I hate this term. You ready for it? But this is what it is. It's a dump and bake recipe. I hate that term, but that's what it is. You are going to dump all of the ingredients right into your Dutch oven, pop the lid on, put it in your oven, and forget about it for about 5 hours. It comes out as this luscious, delicious, rich beef stew that's full of veggies and like a tomato beef-based broth that's thick. And the stew meat cooks down into these absolutely impossibly tender chunks. It is excellent served with either like saltine crackers. So if you like to crumble up saltine crackers in your stew, that's what I like to do. Or you could serve some like crusty, warm ciabatta bread on the side. Mwah! Delicious. Okay, so a few tips with this recipe. The base liquid of the recipe is actually just tomato juice. However, if you have V8 and you want to use that, that works too. This is a super flexible, kind of rustic recipe that is super popular in the Midwest. So you know we flexible. The other ingredient that you will need is stew meat. Usually in the grocery store, it's super inexpensive, super economical. You'll find it cubed into like 1 or 2 inch pieces, and it will be called either like lean stew meat or just stew meat. And it usually comes in like 1 to 1.5 pound packages. This is not a cut of meat that you can cook quickly or grill or pan sear. This is a super tough, cheap cut of meat that needs a really long and slow cooking time. However, you can also use it in the Instant Pot in my beef and barley stew, which is one of the most popular recipes on Mom's Dinner. The last ingredient that I want to talk about is kind of a weird one, and you may need to have somebody help you at the grocery store to find it. They're called tapioca pearls, and you don't want to buy the tapioca pudding. They're their own pearls, and it will say tapioca pearls on them, and it will be like medium tapioca pearls or large tapioca pearls. Now, you don't want to get like boba-sized tapioca pearls, but tapioca, tapioca pearls. You can usually find them in the pudding aisle or in the baking aisle, which actually usually is the same aisle. Head down that aisle, see if you can find them. If not, grab somebody at the grocery store, tell them what you're making, and they should be able to help you find those. If you cannot find them, I'm going to link tapioca pearls on Amazon so that you could order them if you need to. One piece of equipment that you're going to want to make sure you have for this recipe is probably a Dutch oven with a lid. Like a 6-quart Dutch oven with a lid will be perfect here. You can obviously buy the, super expensive ones like Staub or Le Creuset, but Lodge is super affordable. They literally are experts in cast iron, and they make beautiful enameled Dutch ovens. So you can go that route and spend a lot less money. Let's get on to making the super easy 5-hour Dutch oven beef stew recipe. I told y'all it's going to be super easy. This isn't going to take very long. You ready? You're going to preheat your oven to 250 degrees. Like I said, this is going to go low and slow. Then in your large Dutch oven, you're going to add in 1.5 pounds of beef stew meat, 2 cups of russet potatoes that are peeled and diced, 1 cup of celery that's cut into about 1 inch pieces, 1.5 cups of carrots that are peeled and cut into 1 to 1.5 inch pieces, a large onion that's cut into about 1 or 2 inch pieces. Then you're going to add in 3 cups of tomato juice, 2 tablespoons each of Worcestershire sauce, sugar, and those tapioca pearls that we talked about. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of chili powder and smoked paprika. Then you'll pop in 2 bay leaves, give it a little stir, pop the lid on, and put it right in the oven. Now, usually when I make this, I do like to stir it 1 or 2 times while it's cooking. And just so that as that sauce thickens, you can make sure that all the veggies and the meat are staying down in that liquid. But that's it. Once it comes out, it's going to be smoking hot. You'll want to let it cool for like 15 to 20 minutes before you actually serve the stew. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, it is excellent served with like saltine crackers or warmed up ciabatta bread. If you want to add a green side salad with maybe like a vinaigrette dressing, you could do that too. So that does it for today's episode of Let's Make Dinner. As always, I will link all of the recipes right in the show notes for you so you can find it when you're ready to save it, make it, pin it, whatever you want to do, it'll be there for you. I would also love to have all of you dinner makers out there rate and review the Let's Make Dinner podcast in your preferred podcast player. That will just help us as a newer show be found by more ears, which is always good. Until next time, I hope this episode of Let's Make Dinner makes your dinner time a little easier. See ya. It's really got your meat and your protein. Yep, meat and protein are the same thing.